Yep, we can start now. Okay. Yep.
Okay. 我们今天来采访伦敦最有独特性的一个女孩子，然后她是我非常非常喜欢的一个设计师，叫做 Fred Butler。那认识了她10几年之后呢，现在可以来采访她，然后把她介绍给台湾的观众。这个是 Fred Butler. Hello, Fred.
Hi.
Say hello to Taiwan.
Hello.
So yeah, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about what you do and your work? Yeah.
Well, I'm an accessories designer, as you can see.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. And I like to make sculptural pieces that you can wear, and then equally they could decorate your home. So, like here, I just want them to be objects that, are enjoyed.
All the stuff but with the colour.
Yeah.
Because I know you start with 2001. When we first met?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was studying fashion at Brighton.
Yeah.
And then I finished a couple of years later. And then I moved to London.
Yeah.
And then I worked for a set designer called Mei-Hui, who did a lot of work with Tim Walker. Big, epic fairy tale sets. And then I started to do my own thing, making props and then putting them onto the body in shoots to make like a specific.
But you also worked a little bit in New York.
Yeah. When I was at college, I went and did an internship with Asphalt in New York. For 6 months.
Yeah. Then, but when I met you, you lived in Brighton, and when did you move to East London?
So then I moved to Dalston in 2003.
Wow.
So that's
quite early day when you moved to Dalston.
Yeah,
when
very
one
different
was still in
place.
Shoreditch.
Yeah.
I know that was only Julia lived there, but then you moved there.
Yeah.
So you see the whole change, you see?
Yes, and it's so quick because even now, every week, it's more and more because it's been a very slow thing up until now. And this year, all of a sudden, it's just like, I noticed shops closing and then the windows being whitewashed, and then the next thing you know, it's suddenly like a pop-up shop or a cafe.
Or gallery.
Yeah.
Lots of new cafes and shops all around there. But do you want to talk about a little bit when you first came to East London and, the memory of that club and right now? And
well,
how it inspired
my very first memory was in 2001, just before I went to New York. I was interning at Dazed and Confused, and that's in Old Street. And one day they just said, "Oh, can you go and just get something from P.T. Ensign? He's in Dalston. You need to get the 243." And I was like, okay. I didn't know London at all. And I got on the bus, and then I got out of Dalston, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
There's nowhere else like it with the Ridley Road Market. I mean, that's just a colour explosion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
And so then I actually stayed with him for 2 weeks. I didn't go back to Dazed.
Oh, really?
I loved being with Peter. Yeah.
So you were working with Peter at that time?
Yeah, I got some
in
Dalston today.
Wow.
Yeah.
From that moment. Yeah, there was a few designers already.
Because I think he was like the first wave. It was him and Emma Cook.
Yeah.
And Shona, that's how I met Shona. And they were in that old menswear building on Shacklewell Lane.
Oh.
And so Christopher Kane's in there now.
Yeah.
And that's crept up the road, all the different designers, but they were the first.
Because I think back to that time, Brick Lane is already quite expensive to have a studio, and that's why lots of designers already moved to Dalston.
Yeah.
But it's incredible to see how it changed. And then when did you have your studio there?
Then I started off in a studio in Angel, and then I came back to Dalston about 3.5 years ago to work. Yeah.
And you find East London was always inspiring for your work?
Oh yeah.
And the people, places as well. And do you want to tell us more? I don't want to say. I forgot. What inspired you more about your work? like your inspiration? You know, where did everything come from?
I think I never really know. I can never really pinpoint it. It's just something that's inside my brain that I have to try and get out and turn into a physical thing. But interestingly, yesterday someone said to me, it reminds me of Super Mario.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, maybe I played that when I was younger and it went into my head and hasn't left. Yeah, so I think a lot comes from when I was younger. Yeah, which is interesting because I think in your generation, you have like a very similar style to other people, your contemporaries, and it's because you all grew up on the same influences. Yeah.
And I can see, I mean, you know, for what you do is amazing because I think you start lots of trend and, you know, after that's a lots of follow. But at the meantime, because it's difficult because you make everything by hand on your own, by yourself, so like one-off pieces, and that's why you find it's difficult to be in the fashion world because you are doing, you know, everything handmade and you can't produce them. Yeah.
So I just need someone to come and show me how to do.
No,
how to put it into production.
I always thought you would be amazing if someone can employ you just as a accessory designer for one of the big brands, you know, in like fashion house, and you just give your idea and you design, and you don't need to, because for someone who's so creative, you know, I think she just sell your idea or design for one label, isn't it? Did you try to apply something?
No.
And no one approached you?
I'm waiting for someone to come.
I wish I could have money, otherwise I would be the one.
So maybe in the future.
Yeah, hopefully. Because I think for what you do, it's really contemporary and modern, but also really, you know, like naive and colorful and beautiful in a way, you know. And I think somehow it really colorful the whole, some part of fashion, because people are always into doing something really black and really dark. So your stuff is really light up, uplifting, for, you know, what's going on in fashion. And
that's important.
It is, Well, and do you want to tell us where's your favourite place to go out in Dalston or in East London? Places you like to go out, you like to hang out?
Well, I like eating in the local Turkish mangal because it's really, really good.
Where Cuba and Georgia go.
Well, I've discovered a new one round the corner now. And then for dancing, Vogue Fabrics, Lyle's Club is good fun. And the Shacklewell Arms, which is the pub next to my studios, it's also a gig venue out the back in the old dance hall. They have lots of concerts there.
Oh, really?
So that's where musicians start out before they
like a
go
Cafe
on tour.
Auto. Interesting. I never know that place. Also, people that you've been working with so far, can you tell us a few people that you really enjoy to working with, for example?
Well, Patrick Wolf is a really big collaborator. We've been together for years, sharing. So I make him things, and then he's composed music for me for my first show at Fashion Week. I did a sound installation. So that's very symbiotic.
Fantastic.
And who else? Lots of people.
Lady Gaga. We've seen lots of her stuff is from you as well. And have you think about to do some more like a installation art exhibition? Because I think for what you do, it could be more like, you know, art related to fashion, and it would be good if you could.
I'm open to anything.
Well, hopefully we could have you in Asia in the future, and then, you know, have you over to do something for us. Thank you so much, and to share your beautiful, colorful and wonderful apartment. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. 谢谢。